Let's just call it that, and then okay, for this one, whoops, what did I move? Let's put that back. Okay, that should be good. Wow. Let's go to full screen. Perfect. Now it's all set up. Let's talk about what we were meant to talk about before. Okay. So it's not a lot compared to other people, but I've listened to this much. Wow. Okay, let's change the title actually. Yay. You ready, Sake? Let's go. I talked about it with Jack already, but I love talking about this. Yay. Okay. First up is the first set in 10, the Beach Boys Pet Sounds. Wow. Wow. Yeah, this record is just it's amazing. Especially for 1966, just what was able to be dragged out of Brian Wilson's head to create this is just insane. This was back in 1966, where most songs were just about love and everything, and they weren't very complex. They mostly followed the rock and roll sort of structure. In the Beach Boys, or in Pet Sounds specifically, starting here, Brian Wilson had he had like an orchestral arrangement, and he used a bunch of famous session musicians known as the Wrecking Crew, and he was just able to compile all these different sounds and different recording techniques in order to achieve this. One of which was the wall of sound, where everything sounds like it's being in an echo chamber and will just slowly fill up around you. That's basically what's in here. And you can see it's rated so high overall. I didn't know that. Wow. This came right after the Beatles' Rubber Soul, and the Beatles at that point like really pushed forward in that you can create very mature pop music, and they played off of that. So after that, it was Pet Sounds, and then after that came Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, and it was all just from there. But this does really stand. Like, even though Sgt. Pepper and Pet Sounds are both great, I feel like this has more substance in that it's very natural. Because a lot of the subject matter on here it discusses, it's very human. It just gets to the very core of it instead of just the lyrics being experimental. Because it'll talk about love, but it'll also talk about like relationships between people, between um, like being true to yourself, which is very generic, but I guess what I mean is like showing your true self to other people. Like love without talking about it, just like being in the presence of another person, like stuff that's not talked about but people have felt, and they just like pushed it forward. God Only Knows is very popular. Wouldn't It Be Nice is very popular. It's like some of the greatest pop songs of all time, pretty much. I don't know what else to say that hasn't already been said. And I think the same thing can be said for this. It's actually in my top 10. And it's in a lot of people's top 10s actually. Abbey Road. This is actually the only 10 I gave the Beatles. I mean, their other stuff can be great, but this one is just the closest one for me. Abbey Road. Famous cover, famous recordings, famous songs on here. This is like a little bit of history, but behind this is that during the Abbey Road sessions, or before the Abbey Road sessions, the Beatles were starting to break apart. Like the relationships between each other were very hostile at times. So for the Abbey Road sessions, George Martin, the producer, said the only 10 as opposed to other high scores for the Beatles. Now this is, I mean, they get other high scores, but this is like the only 10 I feel for me that I can comfortably be with, like, for the Beatles. Their producer, George Martin, wanted it so that they wanted the old school feeling of just creating music and like having a lot of chemistry in the band like back in the early days. But because of their evolution and how much they've grown, now they can write smarter and just bring a culmination of everything they've gotten up to that point. And this is like, yeah, the stuff like this, stuff around the late 60s started to sound more modern by our standards. So yeah, songs like Come Together, Something, which is a beautiful song by George Harrison. George Harrison's contributions to this are great. And Here Comes the Sun, which I think is their most popular song on Spotify. It sure deserves it, but can't believe it's that high. Yeah, it's just a culmination of everything. Aside from the iconic album cover, this is yeah, it's pretty much the culmination. This is like a last hurrah of the Beatles before they broke up. John Coltrane, a legendary man, one of the greatest saxophonists and jazz musicians of all time. This is a spiritual jazz, so it's not like very straightforward cut, but it's more like an expression, like sort of the things where you have to feel the album and just what the message they're trying to convey. They have like seminal jazz musicians that were also on Impulse. They called it the Special Quintet, or like John Coltrane's Quartet, excuse me, where I think it was John Coltrane, Elvin Jones on bass, on drums, Jimmy Garrison on bass, and McCoy Tyner on piano. McCoy Tyner is legendary as well. But yeah, this album was just John Coltrane's love letter to God for helping him kick his drug addiction. And in 4 parts, he was able to just sort of convey, like, in a way very few can do, in that he was just expressing through his music by just being very freeform about his playing and just it's like there's no sort of chord progression to follow. It's just all very freeform, just pushing out the notes that he can and he feels is necessary to do. But yeah, many people consider this John Coltrane's magnum opus, and I think I agree. Kind of Blue, a Miles Davis record. This is Miles Davis's most best-selling album and one of the best-selling jazz albums of all time, actually. And freeform, yeah. Like I guess what I'm saying is, yeah. Some people prefer like a more structured things where they can see where they're going, and like what changes they have to do. But for that, they had one sort of key to play on, and then they just played around that. And this is at like the middle ground of it. Miles Davis's Kind of Blue, which came out in 1959. This actually changed jazz and how people approached it, because before it was the bebop style era, back in the 40s where they would just play fast and have all these different changes and just solo over and just like be very technical about it. But um, this is getting into music theory now. But what kind of Blue did is it started to introduce like modal jazz and or modal chords, which is just like basically I don't know how to specifically describe a mode, but it's basically like take say a key like C major and you play within the structure of that. Like in the context of like you could play C diminished, C major, C minor, or just like yeah, play within the scales of like a C seventh or C ninth, just these different chord changes and just playing within that specific general context. And he showed that you can be technical uh, while also playing very slowly and very calculated. Because you had some of the greatest jazz musicians on here, and like all the recordings on here are pretty much following a key, but everybody here has to improvise. So you can like the fact that each specific musician is iconic shows just how skilled they were in their instruments. So yeah, we have Miles Davis as the leader and the trumpet. Bill Evans, a legendary pianist. My friend Curran, a jazz bassist. I actually had a class on Bill Evans. Paul Chambers on the double bass, Jimmy Cobb on drums, just legendary people. John Coltrane was on here. He actually played in Miles Davis's quintet before branching out into a solo. And Cannonball Adderley, which should be here. He's not here. But Cannonball Adderley, yeah, was on here. So yeah, this is a impressive record. Now this is probably my favorite Miles Davis record, In a Silent Way. This is jazz fusion, and I'm sure you know what jazz fusion is. It's basically where they just take the elements like of rock and pop or avant-garde and then just push it all and fuse it together. This is where like Miles Davis started to experiment and implement electric instruments such as the keyboard Rhodes, the Fender Rhodes, things like that, and he would just implement them and just create like a very environmental sort of thing, similar to John Coltrane, and that it just tries to set a sort of environment within the record or what you're listening to, rather than um, like these set structured chords again. And this goes on to his next album, Bitches Brew, but I haven't listened to that in full yet, so I have no idea. That one. And I'm sure you've seen some of these names before, like Wayne Shorter, Chick Corea, who unfortunately passed away last year or earlier this year. Herbie Hancock, which is he was also like uh, he was also very important in the jazz, in like introducing funk into jazz and things like that. So if we go to Herbie Hancock, you'll see that this album pops up, The Headhunters. This thing is fun, man. This thing's awesome. What happened? Do you have any questions? I feel like a teacher. I'm just talking about music. Anything you'd like to know more about before I move on to another one of the greatest records of all time? Oh, sweet. Okay. Anyway, yeah, Fleetwood Mac's Rumors. Um, what was it? Yeah, this is a very famous record, one of the best-selling records of all time. I think it's number 7 or 8. Yes. Oh, hell yeah. Rumors. I I honestly, so yeah, I don't know how to explain it, but like this album sort of feels like home. You know what I mean? Like it feels very comfortable and just very familiar when you listen to it. I think it's mostly kind of because of the hits, but also just because these songs are so good. Um, yeah. For the people in the chat who don't know the background, Fleetwood Mac's Rumors came at a time after the self-titled this one, in which every member of the band was starting to go through a breakup and turmoil. Like the main guitarist Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks were going through a breakup. John McVie, the bassist, and Christine McVie, the keyboardist, were going through a breakup, and Mick Fleetwood was going through a divorce with his wife. And there was very high tension between the members of the band during this time. Like they couldn't be in the same room with each other at certain points. They had to record their parts separately. But yeah, what culminated was just like a bunch of like huge hits, like iconic songs from these sessions. It was actually a miracle that they were able to finish this in general. But yeah, um, I'm sure people know like Dreams is on here, which blew up again because of that guy who was skateboarding. Dogface, I think his name was. Never Going Back Again is very hard to play on guitar. Very short and sweet. Don't Stop was popular. I think it still is. Go Your Own Way is huge. Probably their most iconic. Songbird is beautiful. Also iconic. The Chain is amazing. But yeah, each one follows into the narrative of just, yeah, heartbreak and love. These songs are very magical. They feel like home. And I don't think I need to explain further into why Fleetwood Mac's Rumors is great. So I'm just going to go on. Yeah. Okay, I don't know if you know this, Sake. This is like this is literally my favorite album of all time. Like I could gush about why I love this so much. Oh my god, this is so good. It's actually I have it on vinyl too, and it's the one I protect the most because I don't want to damage it. Yeah, we're a Marvin. We don't do. There's no Marvin Gaye slander in this house, except for that possible one. Never mind. Okay, yeah. Bit of background. Marvin Gaye wanted to create his own stuff because this came at a time when there was protests and the civil rights and everything, and he saw everything that was going on in the world, and he didn't want to stick to making love songs and singing about like baseless love that he did in his early career. So what he did was he made a single called What's Going On with some people. And the director Barry Gordy didn't like it because he liked it, but he didn't want to admit it to Marvin because he felt like releasing it would damage his career by being too political. But Marvin said that he wouldn't make any more music unless they released it. They released it in secret. It reached number 4 on the charts. And then Barry said, okay, make a whole album. He had 3 weeks. Which is why some stuff sounds like it's spliced into different parts, but it's all just like one big heavenly sound. It honestly feels, I don't know. Like I could listen to this and I could just sit back and just feel like I'm being enveloped. Like those things where people feel like they get like goosebumps and they feel like they're getting chills. I feel that with this album. Just like everything envelops you. It's like there's the wall of sound technique again, but it's not very cluttered. It's more like there's orchestral strings. It feels like there's things bouncing all around coming at you at once, while Marvin's voice is the cherry on top of all of it. There's everything from like strings to the little xylophone twangs to the little bells. Oh yeah, I completely agree. Yeah, I guess that's true. Nina Simone also is great in her own right. I have to listen to more of her albums. Um, yeah, I should listen to more of Nina Simone as well. But yeah, the even like during the like the George Floyd protest, I saw that this was popping up everywhere. This song was popping up everywhere. And I also saw that like the album reached #1 on Rolling Stone's greatest albums of all time, which excited me to no end. It's just so much love. Like I can honestly say that I can of course I'll get tired of it because if I listen to it frequently, because like the first time I listened to it, I listened to it like 3 months straight. 3 to 5 months straight, once every day at least. But I can go back to it over and over like occasionally and just like not feel bored of it at all. Like I promise that not once. I have a lot of love for this record. Billy Joel. I'm a big Billy Joel fan. I grew up with Billy Joel, but I only grew up with the hits, and I didn't really delve into his discography. I knew he'd be good, and I knew I'd like his stuff, but I just never had the time to until now. And The Stranger is the one that I think is my favorite, just because like each song on it individually is so strong. Like I guess it relies less on like the concept of the album and more just the individual song structures. This was the album that broke Billy out of the into the mainstream, because his last album Turnstiles, which while it was good, it didn't sell well, and he didn't know that, but Columbia Records was actually going to drop him if this album didn't do well. So, in order to achieve the sound he wanted, he used his live band, which he continued on until he stopped in 1993, and he actually got the producer of the Beatles, George Martin, to try to do it, but he didn't. George Martin didn't want to use his band, so he got Phil Ramone, and it's the rest is history, I guess. But there's a lot of hits on here. Moving Out, which is actually my favorite Billy Joel song, and it kicks off the whole album. Just the Way You Are, Scenes of an Italian Restaurant, Vienna, Only the Good Die Young, She's Always a Woman. They're all on here. I don't know what else to say. There's not really a lot to go deep into it. I just really enjoy this record. And Billy Joel. Okay. Kendrick Lamar's Dip Pimp a Butterfly. I think this is my favorite rap album of all time, and definitely one of my favorites. Woohoo! Okay, yeah, this album is geniusly crafted. Um, I don't want to spoil what happens at the end, but basically, along with Kendrick Lamar's like smart vocals and songwriting, he also experimented in the instrumentation by like doing a bunch of like jazz rap, a bunch of neo soul, and then just culminating it and then just structuring it into different places. Like no one song sounds the same. But over time, you'll see there's a poem that he reads as the album goes on, where he's like, I remember you was conflicted, misusing your influence," and then that will continue on, and then add further into the narrative of each song, of each line that he adds. Like it starts from, I think You, which is a great song, and then it just keeps on going and building up, and then it culminates into the ending, which I really don't want to spoil. I'll just say that please check this out. This album is amazing. It's kind of long, 1 hour and 13 minutes, but it's completely worth it. Uh, Led Zeppelin 4. My favorite rapper? I guess so. He might be up there. Him or MF Doom. Yeah, it's between him or MF Doom, I guess. What was it? Led Zeppelin 4. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. This is this is not only this is one of the greatest hard rock albums of all time, because this is really where Led Zeppelin up to this point had a streak of just like building around the structure of blues and putting a heavy twang into it. And they released this anonymously because they didn't want their name to be associated with it, because they saw Led Zeppelin 3 sold poorly because there was a sound expected for them. So they just released it like that, and it's still sold. It's actually their best-selling record. I think 15 million units. But yeah, everything, like the base, it's pretty much set the future basis for hard rock and metal, because you have songs like Black Dog and Rock and Roll, and Stairway to Heaven is on here, and Going to California and When the Levee Breaks. There's just all songs that really set the structure for like future hard rock, and just, yeah, I don't know what else to say. Anything else? Oh, Sean Lennon's Plastic Ono Band. This is one of the rawest albums I've ever heard. This is this is when John Lennon broke up with the hell yeah, Plastic Ono Band. Yeah, this is when John broke up fully with the Beatles, and he fully accepted it in this. And it's very low key. I was very surprised to find how much I enjoyed this record. And just like how everything was so hooky with so little, especially with Ringo. I feel like some of Ringo's best drumming is on this record. But yeah, this was during the time when John Lennon was like prescribed by his therapist to use scream therapy, where he would just like scream his emotions. So that's why Mother sounds so raw, because he's just screaming. It's like all the trauma that he sort of built up as he was growing up is just suddenly being released into this record, and he's putting it out there. He's remolding himself as a new raw artist. And God was controversial, but it's still a great song. Yes, what is it, Sake? What is your question? Ugh. I don't know. I said yeah. It tastes kind of good. I'll wait for your question while I don't know, talk about more stuff. I'm drinking an iced tea, and I think the band would have broken up at that time. They would have broken up around the same time. I feel like Yoko just sort of like exacerbated it a little, because there were already intentions around the White Album sessions, ever since like the death of their manager Brian Epstein. So no, I don't think it was Yoko's fault. I think that was just she was put in an unfortunate circumstance that just sort of like put her as like the that just sort of put her at like the old scapegoat for the band, because everybody was so upset. But no, I don't think Yoko did anything to break it up. It was the ball was already rolling before she joined. Because I don't think they would have wanted to sing and make the same songs over and over. And they left at the right time, because if they, I don't know, their legacy was set in stone when they broke up, because like there was already a huge change in sound, and they were already branching out. Yeah, I I know people didn't like her version of or her Plastic Ono Band, but I thought it was really cool. I thought it was some really nice stuff. Um, I should go back and give it a listen and rate it later. But I really did enjoy her Yoko Plastic Ono Band. And I'm gonna listen to some other stuff of hers too. Mad Villainy. Mad Villainy. Ooh, this thing's amazing. Oh, it's so good. Yeah, Mad Villainy is the love child of a producer, Madlib, and underground rapper and slash producer MF Doom. You could see that actually the album is actually supposed to resemble that Madonna record, the one where the lines in the orange, and that's why they have the square there, because I thought it would be funny because it looks just like the Madonna record. Um, yeah, this is just a bunch of like great beats, a bunch of what was it? It's just a bunch of great beats, a bunch of very experimental stuff, like stuff that was too ahead of its time for 2004, and also layer that in with just MF Doom's writing, because this is some of his best writing here. It's all just like it's like somebody's hitting you with a like continuous punches over. There's no room for to breathe. You just have to like find out what are all the little minutia of double entendres that he's talking about. Um, yeah, and also not like some of the songs here are not over like 4 minutes. They don't overstay its welcome. They're like 1 minute and done. That's it. So yeah, you'll have stuff like Meat Grinder, which is amazing. Accordion, um, all caps is one of their most famous. I think it was used in the Boondocks too. I think a lot of Doom's music was used in the Boondocks because he had to deal with Adult Swim. And I think Eric Andre even said he interned with MF Doom at Stone's Throw Records. Yeah, I think there was a scene where they used all caps. Okay. What else? Joni Mitchell. I know people say like Bob Dylan and some other people like James Taylor. I feel like I feel like Joni Mitchell is my favorite singer songwriter of all time. Just I think a part of it is just because like she uses her weird chords, quote unquote, and that she'll restring her guitars to make new keys. You know, just she'll just make something that's just um that can't be copied. And she is just like some of the what was it, the basis of what people think a singer songwriter is, with like these heavy metaphors of maybe clouds or just ice cream or something like that. I'm pretty sure they all originated from Joni. I'm pretty sure they all did. And this is I think her heaviest record. This was Blue. She wrote this during a bout of depression, and like Van Gogh, she was able to turn that depression into something positive and translate it into her music. Is also her most consistent record, and just like I feel like every song here just makes me want to cry, or almost not every song, but like the ones that are meant to, they feel like they do. Little Green, which they didn't know at the time was about her child that she gave up for adoption. Blue, which will probably make me cry. River is beautiful. Um, what was it? But everything else is just very soft. It's very heartwarming. It's like there's a hope at the end of the tunnel, even during this period of her life. Whew. What song, if any? What song? What song will make me cry? I know there was one. I forgot the name of it. How did I forget the name of the song that makes me cry? uh Dang, I forgot. If it comes back, I'll tell you. But I don't remember. Oh, that's nice. I think I've heard the vocal version of that. I gotta listen to it again, but I think, yeah, it's beautiful. What were we talking about? Right. Okay. Yeah, Pink Floyd's Wish You Were Here. This is their most personal record because this is an album that was dedicated to their original bandmate Syd Barrett, who had to leave the band because of schizophrenia, or what they would be known now as bipolar disorder, I think. Yeah, this is just a love letter to their friend. I think this is very close to making me cry, maybe. Um, Maybe like Shine On You Crazy Diamond, maybe. Just because like I guess the guitar solo of David Gilmour is beautiful in there. Um, Wish You Were Here, the famous song is on here. Yeah, it's just their most personal record. And coincidentally, as they were recording it, Syd Barrett himself came in to the studio, but nobody recognized him because he gained weight and he shaved his head. So it was just like it was a very bittersweet moment for them. Um, oh, while I'm here, I hope people don't get angry at me. Dark Side of the Moon. No, I did not give this album a 10. Sorry, people. No. I it is a good record. I don't think it's their most ambitious. I feel like they've done a lot better since then. Cuz you have a lot of great songs in here, like Great Gig in the Sky. I'll upset the every 40 all the 40 million people who bought this record. I bought it. Cuz this is like the third best-selling album of all time. But yeah, even though there are a lot of great concepts here, um I do feel like it falls apart kind of near the end cuz there's just a bunch of concepts that were just like clamped in together. And it didn't feel like there was really any set structure. Because, I mean, the first half is great, starting with Money. And, I mean, these songs are also great too, but it sort of feels like it falls apart. It doesn't have the same emphasis that was set in the beginning. And they've done some much better stuff, like, again, Wish You Were Here and the other stuff, the other album that I'll get into. The Wall. Wow, The Wall. Wow. This is their longest record, but I think this is also very ambitious as well because it talks about like it basically tells a story of a fictional character named Pink who descends into madness because he's building himself up these walls and isolating himself from the people and the experiences that he had made growing up. Because, say, for example, his school system, when he was young, you know how they were back and then, and how they treated kids and how they tried to discipline them with like physical sort of things. Um, Stuff like that. And relationships, they just start to go mad because they feel like they need the approval of people. And yeah, it's just a very melancholic story. I don't want to spoil the ending again, like To Pimp a Butterfly, but it's worth checking out. Oh, Radiohead. Wow. Really? Like physical punishment? Hmm. Um, what the heck? I didn't know that was still possible. I didn't know if that was still allowed at least. Well, that's unfortunate that they still have physical thing. Anyway, OK Computer. It's actually rated number 1 overall on this website. I kind of feel like that's too high, but it's still a very great record. This is when they were coming off the bends and they were just trying to experiment and create different stuff. Tom York's what was it? Tom York's contribution on this thing, just great. I don't know what else to say. A lot of people, there's a bias towards art rock in this, and I can tell. But yeah, it's just a very solid record overall. I don't know what else to say. I have more to say about Kid A though. It's probably my favorite album from them. Just because it like, if they made a follow up to OK Computer, Radiohead probably could have been the biggest band in the world. But instead, they took a left turn and went to Kid A, which is like, they started to incorporate electronic stuff, and they just sort of like pampered with it and then just implemented everything. This is where they started to put in just different synthesizer sounds and just very abstract sort of world building, I guess is the word. Because you'll see things that just have a very blatant echo behind them in a lot of their instrumentation. And stuff like Idiotech, which is one of my favorite songs on this record, just has a driving beat. It's one of the only ones that has a driving beat. I guess they could explain it better, but yeah. Stuff like the national anthem sounds like a experimental Beatles record, and that's just the marching band starts to blend in together while a bass line plays in the back. It's just great. Experimentation. I'm a sucker for experimentation. And if it's done well, then double points. Talking Heads Remain in Light. I own this on vinyl too. This thing's amazing. I think it's probably one of my favorite records too. There's a lot to say. For 1980, this came out in 1980. And the main structure of this album is that not the melody, the beat and the instrumentation were all loops. They took loops of, because this was still when they recorded music with tape, they took loops and they spliced it over and over, and they looped rhythms, African rhythms, and then just experimented and sang over them. They just did it so well, because it sounds very not messy, but it just sounds all over the place. But for some reason, it still makes a groove. Like what was it? Born Under Punches makes a groove. Yeah, Born Under Punches. The Great Curve is my favorite song on this album just because it drives so much. Once in a Lifetime is their most famous on this. I think you've seen the music video for this for Once in a Lifetime, right? That's where David Byrne in glasses is just like in a like some sort of weird green screen and he's just walking like this. There's like four of him walking. That's on this record. And it's very cool because it sort of drones over like over time you like it. Even the way they end it is cool. It's very dystopian. There's no happy ending. It just feels like they're making music with what little electricity they have or something. That's the vibe for that one. It's very cool. Very nice. Yes. The Velvet Underground and Nico. Um, I would consider a music review YouTube channel. No, I am not as eloquent as like I don't know Anthony Fantano or something, because he can explain his thoughts well. I just go all over the place. I love music, but I'm not good at explaining it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Also, I'm still begging Anthony Fantano to review. Uh, yeah, that's true. But he knows what to look for. I don't know what to look for. I'm just playing. I'm still begging Fantano to review a Stevie Wonder album for Classics Week. Anyway, the Velvet Underground and Nico. This is the first art rock album. You know about like the banana that peels back. This is for 1967. This was huge. So it was mostly the subject matter. This thing got banned in stores when it came out. Um, because you have my favorite song of this album, which is blatantly heroin. I'm waiting for the man, which is just a guy waiting for his drug dealer. Venus and Furs is literally a song about sadomasochism. Oh my god. So like the song is literally like shiny boots of leather and it's just like licking a boot or something. It's like, oh my god. It's just um what else is that? And also they experimented with the instrumentation. Like they had like the production here is a little iffy. I mean it's 1967. We can sort of gloss past it. But this is the only album in which the experimentation is too loud because the violins or the production will be mixed a little too high and then it just drones over. The fetish. The fetish. This whole that song Venus and Furs is about sadomasochism. Yeah, this got banned in 1967. Um, yeah, it just like the instrumentation in some parts drones over so loud that I actually have to turn down the volume. It gets so loud. But this thing is just it set the groundwork for future, yeah, punk, garage rock, everything, and their flat hair. I'll get to that later, but I wanted to talk about this first if it'll load. Dude, I love this game. And I also love the soundtrack for this. I could literally like this is I'll literally just put this on and walk around and I'll be okay. I'm getting so nostalgic for this game. I should have brought my Wii to play it. But yeah, just, you know, the Gower Plains to the Bionis arm. Yeah, they have some other stuff here. They have what was it? I gave the Persona 5 soundtrack pretty high too. Um I mean, duh, it's Persona 5 soundtrack. But yeah, I think the highest gaming soundtrack on this website is Silent Hill 2. Yeah, not only is it one of my favorite games of all time, I think it's my favorite. Wake up, get out there, dude! I gotta play it. I gotta play it. I don't have a PS3 or PS4, so I can only bump the soundtrack until I get it. Yeah. In fairness, I've played Persona 1, a little bit of it, on my computer, which is probably not the best idea because it's Persona 1. That's okay. I love the sound. I love this game. I love this soundtrack. It's beautiful. Chef's kiss. I love it till I die. Woo. Okay. Ah. What was it? Dude, I love this guy. Stevie Wonder. Stevie Wonder is amazing. He's one of my musical heroes, honestly. He's like one of my standards for what I want to do in music. Cause like there's so much you can unpack and be like, this guy's a genius. Um well, for starters, he started his classical period when he was like 20. And this album came out. He wrote everything. He arranged everything. A majority of the instrument. He's like pretty much a one-man band. He produces his own. He writes his own music. He arranges them and he produces them. He plays pretty much all the instruments. He plays the drums. He plays, of course, the piano, the harmonica. It's just crazy. Um, but yeah, Talking Book is where it really set up. I'll go to these later. Talking Book is where it really set off of his classical period, which is basically just a bunch of game-changing albums, like one after the other. And this is like pretty much the seminal start of it. Music of My Mind started in pretty much, but this is where it's like sort of fleshed out. Because this is where like his songwriting really started to mature and he started to really take notice and be more careful about it. And the hits on here are, of course, like You Are the Sunshine of My Life, Superstition is on here, which set the standard. And because he was raised in jazz, that also like sort of tickles the funny bone for me of just using very different and difficult chords in his music while also appealing to like a very mainstream audience. Because like that's so hard to do, like being experimental and just using different chords while also being fun enough that like people who are just passing by can be like, yeah, this is really fun. That's so hard to do. And he nails it every single time, during this period at least. Inner Visions. This is my favorite Stevie album and one of my favorite albums of all time. I mean, of course, a Stevie album's gonna be on here. Inner Visions. This is sort of like Stevie Wonder's Marvin Gaye's What's Going On, and then he tackled different issues. What was it? He tackled different issues, and he just sort of laid out the groundwork of what's going on essentially. Like if What's Going On was asking questions, Stevie was giving the answers of like blatantly like, here it is. This is literally it. And I think I told you, like, I really like the Electro Voice RE20 microphone that streamers use, like Ethan, like H3H3 or Pokimane use, I think. And I wanted to get one. Like, I sure could have gotten like the SM7B, but the main reason why I wanted to get it was because he used it. Like, he specifically used it on Inner Visions. That was the vocals used the Electro Voice RE20. Like there are pictures of him and videos, interviews where he's literally using that same microphone live. Um, yeah, this is probably the greatest example of his classic period where he was pretty much the one-man band. Because if you go to the credits, like you have, of course, you have the mastering, recording, but like if you go to Stevie, he's pretty much everything. All the main instruments that were there: clavinet, congas, pianos, synthesizers, Moog bass, drums. Everything. Oh yeah, everything. LOL. Um, but yeah, say hits on here were like "Living for the City," "Higher Ground," "Don't You Worry About a Thing," which I think Tori Kelly covered for "Sing," right? Because I went to look up the song and I saw Tori Kelly covered it for the "Sing" soundtrack, and I was like, "A song from Intervisions, recovered?" I was like, "Whoa!" Whoa. Yeah, a lot of love for this album. Moving on to his magnum opus. Waha. Oh wow. Wow. Well, anyway, while the Sing movie is getting criticized, I'll just go to Songs of the Key of Life. Uh yeah, even though this is like I think this is also one of my favorite albums, even though like I prefer Intervisions. This is I feel like the culmination of pretty much everything he's done. And this thing is long too. It's a the runtime is an hour and 45 minutes, I believe. But yeah, this is the culmination of everything that he's done so far. And also, this is the one where he had like complete control. Because if we go to the credits, woo, woo. Okay. Um, yeah, there were so many hits on here. Because this is just a song about life and singing about whatever was going on and just the beauty of it. Like this is um a song that would make me cry. Actually, probably from here. There's actually quite a few. Um, this will probably make me cry. Love's in Need of Love Today. Summer Soft. That will probably make me cry. Um, but yeah, a lot of hits were on here. Sir Duke, I Wish is on here. Isn't She Lovely is on this album. As it's just a culmination. There's just so much going on, and I never felt bored. Like for an hour and 45-minute album, you're bound to be like, I need a break. But no, I can chunk through this whole thing, and it'll feel like 45 minutes. It's just pretty much the culmination of everything. Everything great. He's still alive. I'm talking like he's dead. He's still alive. Uh, and I think just like I don't know, there's a lot of merit just with how young he was, because when he like you can see recorded 1974, 1976. He was born 1950, so he was like 24 when this album came out. He was 26 years old. Like, that's insane. What am I going into? I'll go to here. I'll do a little bit more. The White Album. This is like the Beatles essentially made it like a blank slate so that you could just be like, yeah, we threw everything in here. And you got to expect everything, and they really did. At a runtime of 1 hour and 38 minutes, they threw pretty much everything in here. Oh yeah, this is the one with Revolution 9 right at the end. Wait, number 9. Yeah, so many seminal songs. USSR. This one, Oblidu All My Guitar Gently Weeps. Happiness is a Warm Gun. Blackbird. Julia, Birthday, Your Blues. Helter Skelter. There's just so much. But yeah, this is when they were like falling apart. So yeah, they didn't have good tension. They didn't have a good relationship with each other while this came out. So that's unfortunate. But you know, at least they made a good record. They made a good record at least. Yeah. Ooh, look how high it is too. I wish I could own this album on vinyl. It's just gonna, yeah, every time if I listen to this, it's just gonna bring me back. Yeah. Woo. Volume Alpha. Where all the greats are. Like, Mice on Venus, Dry Hands and Wet Hands, and Sweden. What a great, it's so great. Oh, it's so good. I have heard Kingdom Hearts music. I do like Kingdom Hearts' music. For recital, actually, for my piano recital one time I had to play we were playing Disney music and I played Dearly Beloved for my piano recital. That was the last one before my diploma. Everybody chose like Mulan and of course the Up theme, which is also very sad. Gonna make me cry. Yeah, I chose Dearly Beloved. Okay, this is cool. This is a live album by the man in black himself, Johnny Cash. This thing's badass. He recorded this live in a prison. At Folsom Prison. And just the way the interactions that he got along with the crowd and everything is just very like very outlawish. And I mean, he pretty much was an outlaw at the time. He got in trouble with the law himself too. This is just the way he did that and the way he coerced alongside the prison. One of the people there said like if he said to riot, they literally would have rioted. Also, the track listing is great because it appealed to the prison crowd, like his seminal Folsom Prison Blues, Dark as a Dungeon, Jackson with his wife June Carter. Just everything. This thing's so cool. His charisma with the crowd. What a guy. The man in black, Johnny Cash. This actually outsold the White Album in 1968 in the United States. It actually, it outsold the White Album. I'll skip around. Some rap songs. This is from famous underground rapper, I think, from Odd Future. World Sweatshirt. This is actually what I feel like this is one of the most depressing rap albums of all time. Just because like the way it's structured, his samples make it so like unnerving, like you're very cramped, and his delivery sounds like he's very bored, but not like he made this it's not like he made this music bored, more like he's so out of energy with everything that's been going on. Like he lost his father, he's been having mental health struggles and everything else. And it's just like some rap songs was like he didn't even bother to set some sort of name for it just because he was in such a state. And it sort of reflects on this. Like if I'm sure like we've all had experiences of just like depression or just um, anxiety, and this sort of things are more like unhinged and reflected on the songs on this record. It's very strong. It's very family feel. Yeah, this is wow. Also, I was a little pissed off because I went to check this and it beat it, and I was like, no, you can't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Anyway, Frank Ocean's Blonde. This is actually probably one of my favorites too. I got it on vinyl too. Can you believe it? Um, this is basically just you'll see that it's called Blonde, and it's also Blonde here, which is basically just a representation of Frank Ocean, um, coming to terms with his, I guess, his bisexuality, and just it's very atmospheric. Just because there's the theme of duality is constantly played out throughout this record. Um, this it doesn't really prioritize like overblown production and just over the top songs. It's very minimalistic in the way it approaches song structure. Excuse me. Because behind Frank Ocean's vocals, basically all you'll have most of the time is one or two instruments. And the driving drum tracks or drum beats would usually just be way in the background. That you won't even hear it unless you put it on like full volume or you have some sort of bass that allows you to feel it. And there's a lot of very seminal tracks on here. Pink and White, Solo, Self Control, Nights, which had that meme about like, the Nights beat switch, and it'll just like go from a ticking, I don't know, a ticking guitar, and then immediately drop into a just a lo-fi sort of beat. This thing is definitely an instant classic. Everything was very meticulous in the way it was planned out. It runs at exactly an hour long, and the beat switch on Nights happens at the 30-minute mark. This thing was masterfully produced, and it's just a great album overall. I do like it better than Channel Orange. I'm skipping around. Igor. I am a fan of Tyler the Creator. I actually have Igor on vinyl too. Um, this thing's wild. It's actually some of the most fun I've had listening to an album. Um, it basically tells the story of uh, Tyler's character who falls in love with a man who at the same time is seeing another woman, and he tries to tear him apart. He tries to tear him away from her, and he like the way he becomes very obsessive with him starts to develop, or he turns into sort of a monster, or just his mindset. And it just takes him a while for him to come to terms with it. And by the end, it sort of loops around where he's like, well, maybe I can, if I go back to it, like, are we still friends? Or if I go back to it. it just sort of loops that mindset. Earthquake is on here, which was obviously a big hit. A Boy's a Gun, New Magic Wand. Came out on my birthday, which is nice. Yeah, Igor. Igor's nice. I do like his new record, Call Me If You Get Lost, though, but I have a giant preference for Igor. I think it's one of my favorite records, too. I'll make a list and compile about what's my favorite. Hey, yo, hold on a second. Oh, sorry, let me go back. The last one? This is Ryo Fukui Scenery. I was just going to YouTube. Yeah, I don't know why this album just sort of got big on YouTube. But yeah, this is all over the place. And also, it's just a very good hard pop modal album in general. The key song, which got very popular, is Early Summer. And Ryo Fukui, he learned piano at 24, and I think this came out, he recorded this 2 years later. So to think that people already compare him to McCoy Tyner, who played with John Coltrane, like while he was only playing for 2 years, is insane. Like, sure, there's some parts where he plays fast, but you see that there's not a lot of improvisation, more like a bunch of different runs. It's still just very solid. I guess it sort of adds into the way it makes him distinct with his own style, at least during this time. Where's the thing? That is not what I wanted. I wanted to pull up something. Also, my mouth hurts, so I'm just gonna plug my own stuff. Oh, this is so good. Oh, it's so great.
It unlocks the seal between horse and rider. You must kiss me upon my lips one time, and sometimes come back on Sundays. Give me another one. It's to renew it. Yes, there's a kissing fee. Okay, but
I'll do it, but
you know, it just sounds kind of weird.
Oh my god, get out of my fucking way! Jesus Christ!
I'm shilling myself.
Link's a New Jersey horse rider. Stay in your lane! For fuck's sake!
So fun though. This was so fun to record.
Am I gonna lose? I'm gonna fucking. Alright, I'm actually angry.
If you can't go. If you only played it once, what did you do?
Because I have to pay 50
Also, I'm
rupees, and
resting
it's
my
such a slog to get more.
I think Marion wants to see me.
Oh my god, get out of my fucking way! Jesus Christ, and now I'm gonna
I think it
lose.
was because like there was a lot of soundproofing, and just because
thank God.
oh no,
Fuck
you act different around
Oh my
people.
God, I don't know why I
I
get
mean,
so
they're all the
excited.
same. They're all the
Because
real
it's
you.
such a pain in the
But it's
ass
just
if you
like
lose,
some
we'll get all
people
cocky
bring
and
out
you
the
gotta
other
get
in
50
view
more
just because
rupees.
it's more fun.
You feel great.
Waluigi, stop! You have to beat him again?
Yeah, and then he'll let me.
Why?
keep
What
up.
was he like? He was like, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
I don't know why
Rematch.
this got me so
Yeah, and
angry.
he was like, you can get out of my. Oh my god! No! Oh,
I
for
hope I don't get
fuck's
this
sake.
angry when I play it on the randomizer.
Ah,
Just kill him, dude.
this is bullshit.
Can you pull your bow
This
out?
is bullshit.
Are you gonna reset? This is fun.
Oh, I get so tilted. About
Have I
this.
told you about my
This
friend
episode's
Curran, who's
gonna
also
be
in here?
called-
Have I told you about his
called
album?
Rage.
Very, very.
It really makes you see why you know
Mercedes.
species aren't supposed to
Oh,
commingle.
he's a, as I mentioned, he's a jazz bassist. He's a very
It's like,
talented jazz
it's like
bassist.
maybe this horse
And he has an
cock
album
was
out called
designed
If Only.
for I don't know, maybe a horse size.
You
Maybe I'll
stupid
plug it. Maybe I'll play
motherfucker.
some of it.
If you lose,
I don't think it's copyright yet, but
oh my, no, you
I'll play
didn't
some
even...
of it later.
I lost.
He's
This
very
is
talented.
so stupid. Why did? Is it because we were talking about Mr. Hands that I blew through the first one?
We just talk more. Or...
Oh my god! Give me a break. Anyway, you were
We're gonna
saying?
have to cut. This is like easy mode though. Does it get harder in the other?
Yeah,
one?
it gets harder in the other one.
You just gotta stay in the right lane.
This guy cuts me off, and it. Oh my god! I lost.
No, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine.
I
you
lost.
still have a chance.
I lost.
You still have a chance. Just play it out. Oh, you don't have any more care. Yeah,
I'm done. That's it.
Nico, come on. Just you're so it's you. This is close. Just fucking all right. Yeah, you lost. You're just gonna have a rage compilation
The
like
worst
in
episode.
between.
Yeah, it crashed unfortunately because there was a pile up in one instance.
Yeah.
But, yeah, the
I
back
don't know why
bumper
this
just
race
says you
got me
just
so
got
tilted. I think it
passed.
was also that pet peeve
And
thing
then just
where, like,
Matt and Ryan in the
when
back.
people
Can you
have
get out
an
of my
ego for
fucking
no
way?
reason, but it also puts
Why
the
you
other
keep
person
running into
down.
him?
I
I'm not,
really
he's
don't
just-
like
No,
that.
you keep trying to cut him off on the corner and he keeps.
And that's what he
blocking
does to you, so it's
Get
like
out of
it
my-
hits that awful bone in me.
you. Nico, no.
Fuck this.
Oh dear.
Oh my god. You know.
Keep that. That poor controller. Dude.
Yeah.
Have you ever considered its feelings?
Facts don't care about feelings. You know what? I'm just gonna go to Kakariko. I don't care. I don't care. I'm fine. Ah, Fanny the platypus. I stapled my balls to the carpet.
You're on, old man. You fucking boomer. He's in my fucking way.
Turn left.
Oh my god.
Oh, don't use all of it.
God,
'cause then-
I wasn't paying attention. I'm sorry. Oh, he can push me.
Oh, you can cut him off a
Oh
little bit.
no! Come on, carrots. All right. Let's go low.
Okay. So far, so good.
Yeah. All right, Nico.
Yeah. What happened?
If I win this.
No. What? No. What wager? Anyway, let's just keep going.
Nico.
If the great
Nico.
cannon.
Nico. I'm gonna win.
No. Well,
I'm gonna win. Nico. I'm so sorry.
The great Gendorf found out about this. You can keep the horse. What will happen? Who's
I remember
to say?
secretly hoping that like Curran would actually beat this.
Welp. The moment of truth. Am I gonna first try idiot? Why didn't he got a head start?
That's
that was
fine.
bullshit.
You got an acceleration though.
All right. Okay. Nico. I swear to God.
Man. It was so flawless too. How?
I can't believe it. Nico, how many times have you played this game? Oh no! Oh no! Nico! You're gonna break the Wii! How did you tame that wild horse right under my nose?
We do a little bit of trolling.
Christ.
Nico,
Yeah.
what the hell, man? That was the easiest shit on the goddamn planet.
I don't know what happened. How did?
Okay, so just so everyone knows, I have never played that race before. Not a single time. I've never gotten this far in Ocarina.
Ugh.
And I just first try idioted it. Nico.
Yeah.
So about that dinner.
Minus
Yeah, man.
3? No.
How did you? How?
I don't know where the 3 came from. Where's
such
what about
bullshit.
-5?
You need to clear your head.
Yeah, I'll take it. Haha. Hey, you're not the one who won the horse. Give the controller back to the other guy. The one who made the
You're
funny
the
penis joke. Ganon said it was so funny.
I needed those kisses. You better come back here.
What in the god name of God?
Why are you so bad?
Yeah, I 100%. There's 100% completion.
You have 100% completion on this game. I've never beaten it once.
Fuck's sake.
How did I win?
I don't know.
Oh,
Jesus Christ! Wow. We did
I
it.
reset like
We
5 times, I think.
got Epona. Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a lot of hard work and
Oh
effort
yeah.
from many sides.
Sussy back sussy.
Many people helped out with that one.
From here on, we'll be going through some narrow passages. If you take it slow, maybe you can actually win the opponent race.
Shut up! Maybe you could actually race your horse, you fucking clod.
Damn it.
Speed run, any percent.
Damn it. Damn it.
Why, Nico? If you take your time, you'll beat the opponent race. You're trying too hard to be cool. It's like Mario Maker all over again.
When we're 88 years old, we'll be on rocking chairs. You'll be like, ah, Epona. And I'll be like,
And then you'll die.
I'll get a heart attack.
You'll keel over and die. Remember that time when I beat Epona on my first try ever? We need a medic. Is anybody here a doctor?
I will. And then he tries to get on his horse and he just doesn't.
He just doesn't. He doesn't get on the horse. That's it. That's the end of the story.
That's the end of the story.
You die. Nobody helps you. I got it. And then he rides a horse and you get triggered and just instantly die.
I get revived for like a second and go like, fuck you, and then I die again.
Oh, don't look at that thumbnail. I don't know why I made that thumbnail. Let me just go to Where's Pocket Dimensions? I think this is it. Oh, was it the one with Broly and the Omni ass? Oh, the guy, the guy with the giant dingaling that I cropped out. I really miss him. I miss my friends back in where I live. I sometimes I'll find myself watching ClaimVictoryGaming just because I miss them. Like, sure, we can FaceTime, but it's not the same as meeting in person. No, it's good. Oh yeah, I'll stop, but yeah, I get what you mean. Let me see. There was one that I really liked. Was it Introspect? Well, I don't know. It's just a very good album. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like, even if it's... What is going on? Like, even if... I don't know. I have friends who make music. I'll just, like I sure I'll be like I like it, but maybe I won't listen to it frequently. I do genuinely like listening to Current's music. God, we have so much. God, we have so much. Sorry, I don't remember. Did you say you liked creating stuff too? Uh, I just I like creating stuff. I don't know. There's just something about being hands-on about. I edited a huge majority of these videos. Once we'd finish a recording session, I immediately get on it just because I loved doing it. Just loved editing and making it as funny as can be without overstaying my welcome in some parts, I guess. Rage quitting? Oh, the opponent race? That was this one. That was the road rage run with Stevie Wonder driving. I'll click it. A little guy that can't dodge lightning. Oh, the Helltaker episode? I was sweating bullets when I finished it, and I was shaking. Ah, that was my fault. Wow. Who knew that getting so frustrated that you completely lose track of what your patterns were would negatively affect you when you play a video game? Yeah. What's going on? Is you repetitive shit. Ugh. I'm slogging my ass through this. Yo. This is so stupid. I really gotta improve my mic audio. You don't give me room to breathe. I'm sure there's gonna be some sort of wave of relief that washes over me if I eat this thing. It's not gonna be nice to me. Like, I know the layout of this is really cool. Don't get me wrong. I guess I'm just frustrated with this because there's no room to breathe. Son of a bitch. Oh my god. I like how my hair is like there's so much like getting more and more matted to my forehead. And then you just put it willy-nilly. Thanks. Thank you so much. Maybe the patterns the Kool-Aid man. I forgot about the Kool-Aid man. Why did I put that on there? I don't care, dude. I don't care anymore. If I win, then so be it. This has just turned into like appreciation of the new levels to wow. I didn't get a haircut since I want to scream Bloody Mary. Maybe this is a maybe that's it. Maybe this is a representation of us at Demon wanting to rip. I didn't get a haircut. Off the limbs of and I had a ponytail then, or whoever is running. My hair is still growing. Okay, so it does go back. It's been 3 months. I'm just not paying attention. No, I got a haircut faster later in June. Oh, my hair's long. Did it turn into Link? Fuck this so much. The fire. Fuck this. I got hit with the center. And then I think I just kept going too, right? Like I didn't even bother to be like, haha, funny thing. I just kept going. Oh my god, these are so old. Oh my god. This is still getting views. This is gonna ruin my algorithm. This ruined my algorithm. 275, and people are staying for that. I got all these subscribers because of this. And then when I make another video, I'm gonna lose some, and then it'll ruin my algorithm. It's okay. I don't.
And let's not forget that little incident of yours a moment ago.
Oh, this is Finian. This is Finian. Anything else you want to look at, or should I just click willy-nilly? Beep bop bop boop bip bip bop bop. I want to play copyrighted music. What do you mean I can't play? Okay. No, his name is Willie. He will. Never mind. Never mind. I sort by popular. Okay. Thank you for stopping by. I'm just gonna click like I don't know. One for the road, I guess, while you go.
I tried to pause the game.
My friend Finian is also very funny.
And nobody knows
Very funny
why my
guy.
sexual urges could be sprung out like an animal.
Okay. What the fuck?
How you doing today, miss? You?
Ow.
So,
My
I love going on late
spine.
night
That's
food
like
runs.
going down a water slide and there's no water in the pool at the end of it.
Ooh. Excuse me, I don't identify with this harassment.
Boy.
I don't identify with this. Hey. You
Let's
gotta
go.
stop hitting her 'cause she's
Come on.
ugly.
Ah.
Maybe it's the way you're dressed.
I hope you have good,
Maybe it's
I don't
the
know,
way
alcohol.
Maybe it's the way your lips are.
I don't
Maybe
really
it's the way
drink
you
alcohol, so
smell.
I don't really know much about them. However, my family keeps pushing me to drink it because I'm the only one in our family who doesn't
Let's
really
see if I can
drink it
break
at
the game.
gatherings.
Oh, look, you can see my after effect.
Life is like
Oh wow, look at that, dude! Check that. That's so
in
cool.
Ducktail.
Look, it's like, yeah.
Thank you for joining.
It's like you're
Sake.
wasting our time. It's so cool. Well, what is it?
I don't know. It's pornography.
I don't know what it is.
Television programs, magazines.
No.
Etc.
Oh, no.
Nice work. Yeah, thank you.
Nice work. Where'd it go? Hell yeah.
Heck
Oh, I
yeah.
thought it would rise slower. Like, how do you do that?
Take me.
Take me to
Take
the
me.
Xbox. Ooh.
Oh, we killed it. Want to see it happen?
Wow. That's
No!
You can even.
Why are they in this game?
I messed that up so badly.
it's just... Wow, thanks for the riveting
Oh
conversation.
no.
See ya, Sake.
No!
Watch this.
And
Hell
Thank
yeah,
you.
I
got
don't
it.
need your spray,
Everybody
Mario. Look at this
for
baby
watching.
Bumpa,
I might as well
Oh,
raid
this
someone.
baby. I can do this with my. What are you? Oh god! Yup, there it is. Whee!
I don't even need to say anything. Like, you two commit to the descendant.
Let's
Oh,
raid.
Madness.
I don't need no spring in my Mario. I got my wits and my cap and my.
Oh, there I am. Okay, let's go on Twitch and raid someone, I guess. Who to raid? I guess let's go to a small one. Let's go to a small streamer. Beady beady bop bop beady bop. I don't know, Mario Kart, I guess. I don't know, actually. I'm gonna keep looking. There's a small streamer named XQC. Is that Fatal? Ah, Fatal. I'm waiting for the day that you will come again. Or how about a music stream? Sure. I don't know. They're live. Well, here we go. It's fun. Beat-a-ba-ba-ba. Oh, fuck. They all left.